The foxgirl said she didn't need anyone. Then she fell into my arms. Rain streaked down the neon-lit streets of the city, painting the sidewalks with streaks of orange and blue from the flickering signs above. I hurried along the alleyways, my coat pulled tight against the sudden chill, when a sharp, almost musical laugh echoed behind me. Froze. It was a sound that didn't belong to the drab, wet streets, a sound of mischief, freedom, and danger all at once. Turning slowly, I caught sight of her. A girl crouched atop a dumpster, her amber eyes glowing faintly in the rain, and a set of bushy, russet tails curled behind her. Rain-slicked strands of hair clung to her delicate face, but she carried herself with an unshakable confidence. "You're lost," she called, her voice teasing yet wary. I was just heading home," I stammered, feeling the odd pull of her gaze. She hopped down effortlessly, her movements almost feline, and landed silently on the wet pavement. "You don't belong here," she said, tilting her head. Her ears flicked back slightly, betraying her curiosity. "But then again, maybe you like danger." "I'm not really into danger," I admitted a little too honestly. A scoff escaped her lips. "Figures," she said, brushing a strand of hair from her face. "Humans are boring, predictable. I don't need anyone. Least of all a human like you." Her words hit harder than I expected. There was pride in her voice, yes, but also an unmistakable loneliness. I wanted to argue, to tell her that needing someone wasn't a weakness, but before I could, she darted past me like a shadow, disappearing into a narrow passageway. I hesitated, then followed. The alley twisted sharply, revealing a hidden courtyard glowing with faint lanterns. There she was perched on a low wall, knees drawn up, tails wrapped tightly around her. Rain dripped from the edge of her hood. "What are you doing here?" she asked, though her voice had lost some of its teasing edge. "I could ask you the same thing," I replied. "Are you okay?" She laughed softly, a sound that almost masked the vulnerability in her eyes. "I'm fine. I've been fine on my own for years." Her pride was admirable, but I sensed she was hiding more than just distance. "You don't have to be alone all the time," I said gently. "Even foxes or foxgirls need someone to lean on sometimes." For a moment, her eyes narrowed, studying me as though I had said something foolish. Then, without warning, her footing slipped on the slick stone wall. I barely had time to react before she fell, and instinct took over. I caught her, holding her weight against my chest. Her ears flattened, and her tails flared slightly as she looked up at me wide-eyed. I didn't need anyone," she protested weakly, though the tremble in her voice betrayed her. "You're safe," I whispered, my arms tightening slightly to keep her steady. The warmth of her body against mine was startling, yet comforting. She didn't move away, not really. Instead, she rested her head briefly against my shoulder, as if testing the waters of trust. "Why are you helping me?" she asked after a moment, her voice quieter now, almost fragile. "Because you don't have to do everything alone," I said simply. "Even the strongest creatures deserve someone by their side." Her amber eyes glistened under the rain. She hesitated as if weighing my words, and then slowly, almost imperceptibly, relaxed against me. I've never let anyone hold me like this before," she admitted. "You don't have to hide anymore," I told her. "Not here, not from me." The storm seemed to soften around us, the rain turning to a gentle drizzle. She shifted slightly, burying her face against my chest, her tails brushing along my legs. I could feel her pulse, rapid but steady, and the subtle warmth that radiated from her body. In that quiet moment, the city's chaos faded, leaving only the two of us. I've always thought I didn't need anyone, she murmured, her voice muffled. But maybe I was wrong. I smiled down at her, feeling the weight of her trust settle in my arms. It doesn't make you weak, I said. It makes you human, or foxgirl, or whatever you are. It makes you real. Her laugh returned, soft and breathless, no longer full of defiance but relief. I guess I can try having someone for a change, she said, lifting her head slightly to meet my gaze. Her eyes shone with a new light, one of cautious hope. I let out a small laugh. Good. Because I think you might like it more than you realize. For the first time, she allowed herself to smile freely, tails swishing with genuine happiness. Maybe I do, she whispered. And then, almost shyly, she rested her head back against my shoulder. The rain faded entirely, leaving the city wet and shining under the lamplight. And there we stood, two strangers who had found an unexpected connection in the middle of the storm. She didn't need anyone before, but now, she had me. And somehow, I didn't need to be anyone else but myself. The night wrapped around us quietly, the neon lights reflecting off the puddles like a promise of new beginnings. And as we walked out of the alley together, her fingers brushed against mine, not by accident but by choice. For the first time, neither of us was alone. Her footing slipped on the slick stone wall, and before I could react, she fell. Instinctively, I caught her, holding her against my chest. Her ears flattened, and her tails flared in surprise. I didn't need anyone, she protested, but her voice trembled despite her defiance. You're safe, I whispered, tightening my arms around her. She stayed close, testing the strange comfort of being held. For a moment, the city's chaos, the rain, the neon, the alleys, faded away. There was only this fragile, unexpected connection. Why are you helping me? She asked softly, her usual bravado gone. Because no one should have to be alone, I replied simply. Even the strongest deserve someone by their side. Her amber eyes, glistening with rain, softened. Slowly, she leaned against me, her warmth pressing against mine. I've never let anyone hold me like this before, she admitted. You don't have to hide anymore, I said gently. Not here, not from me. The storm eased, leaving the streets glimmering in the lamplight. Her laugh returned, quiet and breathless, no longer defiant but relieved. I always thought I didn't need anyone. Maybe I was wrong, she whispered, her gaze lifting to meet mine. Smiled. It doesn't make you weak. Makes you real. And maybe it makes you stronger. Her tails swished lightly, her smile tentative but genuine. Maybe I can try having someone, she murmured, resting her head back against my shoulder. The night stretched around us like a promise. For the first time, she let herself be supported, and for the first time, I realized that some connections aren't chosen, they're found. We stepped out of the alley together, fingers brushing, subtle, deliberate. Neither of us was alone anymore. And in the quiet aftermath of the storm, it felt like the beginning of something neither of us had dared to imagine.